They told you the strong survive. But they forgot to mention who picked the fight. They forgot to mention that the judge was the executioner all along. I'm Cole Braddock. Call me Gage. And today we're talking about the man who dressed up cruelty in a lab coat. Herbert Spencer. A man that helped force the world into darkness for over a century. And we still feel his cancerous thoughts today. If you are easily upset or offended, please end the video here, and have a nice day. This man was dark, and should never be thought of as a hero. But the only way to expose evil is to look it in the eye in the bright sunlight of day. Thank you. England, 1820. Spencer is born into a world on the edge of revolution. Machines replacing men, cities swelling, old social orders collapsing. His father, a dissenting teacher, believed in freedom. Young Herbert rejected formal education, taught himself engineering, worked railways. He saw the world as mechanical, logical, ruled by natural law. Spencer wasn't a biologist. He was a philosopher, an engineer, a theorist. In the 1850s, he was already developing his own ideas about evolution and society. When Darwin published Origin of Species in 1859, Spencer saw something bigger. Evolution didn't just explain animals, it explained everything. By 1864, he coined a phrase, survival of the fittest. If natural selection worked in nature, why not in society? Why not in politics? Why not in war? Spencer believed society evolved like organisms. Simple to complex, weak to strong. The rich, the powerful, they weren't lucky. They were selected. Competition wasn't cruel. It was progress. Government interference, evolution's enemy. He wrote volumes, The Principles of Biology, The Principles of Psychology, all wrapped into one grand system. Synthetic philosophy. And it spread. America's robber barons loved it. Carnegie quoted him. Rockefeller funded him. Millions of copies, dozens of languages. By 1880, Spencer was the most famous philosopher on earth. What did he believe? That helping the poor actually hurt society. Charity kept the unfit alive. Welfare slowed human progress. He looked at poverty and saw nature's judgment. The wealthy were evolved. The poor were defective. He believed this across every society. Strong nations conquered weak ones. Civilizations replaced primitives. It was natural selection. Suffering, not tragic. Necessary. Weak would die. The strong would thrive. Perfection through pain. He opposed public education, healthcare, labor laws. Any help for the unfit was dysgenic, a threat to the species. This wasn't opinion, wasn't preference. It was law, natural law, as immutable as gravity. This wasn't cruelty. It was compassion for the future. Spencer saw himself as a scientist, revealing hard truths about human nature. But here's what he actually did. He took Darwin's caution and turned it into a commandment. Darwin never said survival of the fittest. Spencer did. Darwin studied beaks and wings. Spencer studied bank accounts and empires. Fit never meant strong. It meant whoever was already winning. The rich, the ruthless, the empire. They didn't test for strength. They crowned the victor, then wrapped nature around him like armor, called it natural law. Spencer's science became scripture for tyrants. Colonialism, just nature. Slavery, natural hierarchy. The poor, weak by design. Genocide, helping evolution along. It wasn't survival. It was permission. Permission to crush. Permission to walk past the broken and call it order. Permission to look at suffering and call it science. Every tyrant loves a story where he's the hero by default. Every empire needs a reason to sleep at night. Spencer gave them both. He didn't discover truth. He drafted a myth, carved a throne, and called it fact. Turned compassion into weakness. Turned cruelty into virtue. And his legacy? A century of horrors. Eugenics programs, fascist manifestos, colonial massacres, all stamped with the seal of natural law. If that hit a nerve, good, because this foulness turns my stomach too. We tear down the lies they call truth every damn week. Spencer didn't hand down wisdom. He handed out excuses. You want to know who survives? The ones who remember who they're fighting for. The ones who know strength isn't who's left standing. It's who you carried through the fire. Virtue is fighting not against your neighbor, but with him to forge a better world. And if Spencer's your compass, you're already lost. God, I hate these guys. I need a stiff drink and a shower. Let's remember together. Always. Or tomorrow's Spencer will creep up and lead us all down this dark path again.